Boo. Did I scare you? I scared the shit out of you, didn't I? I knew I would. Anyway, what's up? I'm Nate. This is my room. And today, we're doing a Halloween-themed video. It's October, it's spooky season, time to get into it. Last year, I did HalloweenTown, and this year, we're doing HalloweenTown 2, Kalabars Revenge. Now, the last one was a little weird, a little cringy, but a lot of fun. So, I got some high expectations for this, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So the mom ruins the Halloween party, but what I'm really questioning is the fact that they kind of just openly said that they were witches and wizards in front of all these kids and that Marnie was next in line, and they kind of just don't care at all, even though it's supposed to be a secret. I guess it's not anymore. With them arguing, Sophie goes to check in on the grandma, and again, something very weird is that she's literally just stalking the people without their knowledge or consent. She's literally just looking at people and be like, man, I miss them.
Oh, look, there's Luke. Oh, he's becoming a fine young goblin, hasn't he? Look.
What? You're like 90 years old and you're talking about a teenage goblin who's probably underage. I'm just saying that's a bit weird. Check yourself, Grandma, before you catch a case.
Knock. Hi, I'm Alex. This is my son.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out on the limb here. These two guys are clearly the bad guys. They're new characters. They're dressed in all black, and we saw the dude's face at the beginning of the movie, so they basically just gave it away, which is just like, W.
Most disgusting costume wins a prize after the unmasking at midnight.
Might that prize be a kiss?
No, that's disgusting.
Might that prize be a kiss, dude? What is wrong with you? Ugh. So, Marnie gets a little, she gets in the mood. But instead of taking the boy to her room, she takes him to Grandma's room, which is a little kinky, but...
Hair of werewolf. This must not be easy to get.
It wasn't, believe... in the old days of fairy tales.
Do you know any magic spells?
Well, sure. But they're pretend ones, of course. See, there are common spells that every witch knows. Supposedly.
Or warlock.
Dog, she's really sick at hiding these secrets, man. She's like, yeah, witches got spells. Allegedly. Yeah, that's werewolf here. Allegedly. From fairy tales. Dog, just nod and, act like you're not a witch. It's really not that hard to just be like, yeah, we bought that off a vendor. We went to Spirit Halloween. There's only a Spirit Halloween in every single town. Instead, she's shaking at the thought of him bringing up warlocks and spells. You are giving away your biggest secret to a guy you just met. I'm not a stickler or anything. But if you're meeting a new guy, even if you think he's cute, why would you take him into your grandmother's room knowing that she has no problem showing people that she's a witch? It makes no sense, Marnie. Use your head.
Whoa. Is that supposed to be a book of spells?
No.
Come on, it's just pretend, right?
Well, sure. But it's still my grandma's stuff, and we really shouldn't be in here when she's not here, so
Okay. So now you're having double thoughts? He looks at the spell book, and now you're having double thoughts? You told him there were spells. You told him there was werewolf hair. You educated him on all this stuff. But as soon as he sees the spell book that you keep trying to tell him is fake, but are just acting super nervous, then you start freaking out? This girl does not deserve to carry the wizarding name of whatever her last name is. She's clearly not smart enough. And she's clearly too in her feels with this boy to protect her own identity. That's all I'm saying. Give it to Sophie. Why would you leave last? It's not his room. It's your grandmother's. It's not either of your rooms, but it's your house. So why would you wait outside the door and wait for him to get a good look around one last time and just stand outside while he is just in there? Obviously, Like, me personally, I'd be like, I can't let him in there. I barely know this guy. What if he steals something? What is wrong with her? Why is she so... We're 11 minutes in, and she's made so many mistakes.
Grandma, there's nothing in there. Not even by magic.
But that's impossible. I just can't run out. It's connected to my house back in HalloweenTown with all my charms and all my spells.
I'm starting to think this entire family is dumb. I mean, she enchanted a bag to connect to her house, so whenever you reach into it, you're taking something from her house. And think about it. If you can't get into your bag that is to your house, or there's nothing in the bag, that means you got robbed. That means your house is empty and there's nothing in it. Someone stole your house and all your belongings, Grandma. You absolute dunce. Maybe next time don't leave your bag with all your belongings just lying in the middle of a table. Maybe next time don't connect a bag to your house. Think!
Taking the girls out for a little while. Is that all right?
Sure, Mom. Just make sure. Wait. Out where?
Oh, just home. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Usually, it's the parents who take off with the kids, but today, Grandma does it. She takes the kids to inspect her house, which might be robbed. And, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's Marnie's fault. Just saying, she kind of trusted a guy who stole her grandma's spell book. She's kind of an idiot. But let's find out. Okay, so another thing. They can't summon the bus. So it seems like, oh man, they're stuck there. But then they just touch hands, say a few mumbo jumbo, and a portal appears. And if I remember the first movie, they get on the bus and it takes like a couple minutes to get there, a couple seconds maybe. But in here, it took them maybe 10 whole seconds. They didn't have to wait for a bus. They just said some heebie-jeebie stuff and boom, they were there. So my question is, why don't they do that every time? Why would they want to take public transportation if they can just... And then boom, and a portal appears. Again, this family just does not think. They don't think.
Thanks for stopping by. Same to you.
And the entire time he was with that woman, he never once made a frog noise. And then as soon as he looks at Dylan, he makes it. Weird coincidence, I would say. Or maybe it's just bad writing. So they get back to HalloweenTown, and things just aren't looking right. Things are gray, things are gross, and things are boring.
It's the spell, dear.
A spell? You think someone put a spell on all of HalloweenTown?
Dog, no shit, they put a spell on all the... What? Like, look at it. Everything is gray, your pumpkin is a brick, and everything is boring. You think they just decided to do that? No, it's obviously a spell. Who volunteers to be gray and boring? You think they put a spell? Really? You think they turned the pumpkin into a bunch of bricks with a spell? Yes. Think.
I should say, this is the caricature of humans in HalloweenTown. Just as humans make fun of us from the mortal world at Halloween.
Damn, so humans and monsters are both extremely prejudiced and a little bit racist and use extreme stereotypes. I don't know why the humans, usually, like, when aliens look at humans in movies, they usually look at us as dumb and stupid. Honestly, I think this one's worse. I'd rather be, I don't know, would I rather be dumb and stupid or boring? What would you rather be?
Can you hear me? Dylan, are you there? Dylan, would you please answer me?
All right, I hear you. What do you want?
I've never seen anyone so unenthused by magic than this dude right here. All right, I hear you. What do you want? Like, dog, that's your grandma. Relax. It's not that serious.
It's not here.
What do you mean it's not there? It should be on the table.
Well, it's not.
It has to be.
Maybe Grandma misplaced it.
Grandma didn't misplace shit. Marnie misplaced her trust.
Someone must have taken it. Did any of you go to my room since I came down to the party?
Somebody did. Just saying.
Well, I was. For a few minutes.
What, did someone go in with you?
Yeah. Someone did. Someone sketchy.
Just this boy I met, Cal. But he couldn't have taken it because I was with him the whole time.
You weren't, though. You stood outside the door for at least 15 seconds while he shrunk and stole a book.
He must be the one I felt coming.
He stole it, Grandma.
It could have been somebody else.
Who? Who else could it have been? Grandma hasn't been in the room. I know my homie Dylan hasn't been in there. He probably hates that room. Sophie, she's not a liar. I stand with Sophie. So who else could it have been? The boogeyman? Santa Claus? Jack Skellington?
He wouldn't steal anything, Grandma. He's really sweet.
He wouldn't steal anything? You don't know him. You met him for 30 minutes. You don't know this person. He could absolutely stolen something. You ever heard of liars, Marnie? You had to, because last movie, the bad guy was the mayor, and he was a liar. Think!
You're keeping up nicely.
Cal?
Over here.
You cast this spell on HalloweenTown?
Just the way it was written in Aggie's little spell book. You naughty girl. I could have stolen the book anytime. See, I wanted you to show it to me because you felt something between us. And you did.
So he could have taken the book at any time. Anytime he wanted. It did not matter. He only asked Marnie so he could hurt her feelings. He only pretended to care about her. He went out of his way to hurt her feelings and lie to her. He is such a menace. What? That's insane. That's so evil. That's hilarious.
I should have known when he gave me the rose. Cal. You're Kalabars' son.
And when my father tried to bring the creatures of HalloweenTown back as rulers of the human race, you Cromwells brought everyone against him. And then you destroyed him! Just say the word, and I'll open up the portal.
Say what word?
Stop doing everything your mama tells you. And I can show you things that Aggie could not teach you in a million years.
Okay, so the rose, that's a bit of a stretch. You know, knowing that he's Kalabars' son just from the fact that he gave you a rose, that's not a very uncommon thing. People get roses. And also, again, this man just shows how much of a menace he is. He can steal the book whenever he wants, but wanted to emotionally manipulate Marnie. Then he says that he could still use a date to the dance. Says that he wants to destroy the Cromwells, and then tries to recruit her to be evil with him. This man doesn't pick a lane. He's just going everywhere. He's an absolute menace, but I don't know if this is the best plan. But I respect the hustle. He's trying to get the bag, get the girl, become powerful. I mean, he wants it all. He's putting all his cards on the table, to be fair. It's quite admirable if it wasn't so evil.
But if he's willing to break the code of Merlin, which forbids stealing the spells of another, then I think that we can safely assume that he's capable of anything. And even if he's still
What? So the number one rule of wizards, like the most sacred rule, is don't steal spells. Or just don't steal in general. They kind of don't specify. So, let me get this straight. If you are willing to steal something, that means you are capable of anything. That makes no sense. So let's say I go into Grandma's house and steal her werewolf hair. Will she think of me as like an absolute menace? Will she fear me above all because I took her werewolf hair? Or do I just like use one of her spells? Because what is stealing a spell? You can't really steal a spell. You could just use a spell. So it doesn't make any sense. Also, why did they bring Luke? He's not doing anything, and he's still gray. This movie makes no sense. They didn't think.
We'll never undo it.
Oh, I'd agree with you, dear, if there was only one copy of my spell book. But what he doesn't know is there are two.
You can help out, you know.
I'm kind of hungry. I wonder if there's anything to eat around here.
Again, why did they bring Luke? He's not doing anything. Get him a snack, though. He might help after.
How about that one?
No, that's not it. That's too small.
No, how about this?
It's just a big one.
No,
Oh
okay.
my goodness. We can't find one.
Grandma was pretty quick to give up hope. She's just kind of sitting there like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it, you idiot. It's bigger than that. Dog, it's not that one. I'm done. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you're a witch. You got to save the world. And you're sitting and just kind of waving off all efforts to help. Maybe pick yourself up and help out, you old bag.
Look, you're a goblin again. So something broke the spell.
I haven't seen that on the spell book for decades. Perhaps it's lost.
So they figure out that the book is lost. Again, it's a spell book. It has some of your best spells in it, or all of your spells. That shouldn't be something that you should just lose. Anyway, turns out everything that's lost in the entire universe goes into Gort's house. So they're going to have to, I assume, dig through an entire universe worth of lost things at a random guy's house to find a spell book. Good luck, I guess.
Now, Cal seems like a very sweet and charming young man, and his father seems like... Alex!
Hey, Gwen.
She really did. She looked frightened. Alex! You really sold it there. Good job.
Great costume, huh? Hope I didn't scare you.
You did. Couldn't you tell? Did that not show fright? Come on. What's wrong with you?
Well, it is Halloween.
And to celebrate, Cal and I found a terrific mask for you.
That mask is obviously cursed. He got it out of Cal's room. Cal gave it to him. Cal's against the Cromwells. That mask is cursed. Do not put it on. Don't touch it. So they go to Gort, who's gray, obviously. And it turns out that he sold the book. So they're even more out of luck. Marnie sold. Grandma sold. And now Gort is selling. And on top of that, Grandma's turning gray. This is just... I give up. This is horrible.
He turned the creatures into humans. And now he's gonna turn the humans into creatures.
I think he plans to use the creature spell on the mortal world at midnight.
That is the worst plan I've ever heard. I've lost all respect for him. So his entire plan is just to swap worlds. Like, you're going to turn the humans into creatures and the creatures into humans. That is, you're just taking a few extra steps to do nothing. You know what would be really evil? Making everybody in HalloweenTown evil, rallying them against the humans and then having them take over Earth. That's something that is evil. Instead, you're just going to be like, hey, switch. It's a dumb idea. You're a dumb person. Grow up. Become more evil. So Marnie escapes through time travel with Luke. And then Cal puts Luke in limbo. And then he corners Marnie. And last time he tried to flirt with her. Tried to get him to join him. This time he starts out flirting with her, telling her to join him. And then he tells her that he's going to turn her mom into a nasty, moldy hag.
Your mom's about to become a really moldy old creature.
His way of attracting women is very interesting. If it works, then we got ourselves a pickup artist. But I have a feeling that it's not, considering she's about to start crying. So Marnie finally gets it right. Gets to whatever that guy's name is, Messy House, and convinces him to look through his trash to find the spell book. Meanwhile, Dylan and Sophie are doing some really real flying. Trust me, it's real. And they're trying to warn their mom that whatever his name is, Cal's dad, is not what he seems to be. My guess, considering he ribbited and then there was a frog, I'm gonna guess he's made out of frogs, which is gross. So finally, Luke does something to contribute and figures out that the spell apart, and whatever apart is backwards, is the spell that makes people boring and makes them normal. But something that is weird is the fact that in the movie, as you can see in the beginning, everybody is slowly turning gray. But when she uses a spell, they just automatically turn gray. That's a continuity error, and I'm gonna have to dock some points. I'm not giving points, but I'm gonna have to dock some. But then Marnie sells for the second time this entire movie because she loses the time travel spell and doesn't remember how to use it. She's just such a disappointment.
Alex? Are you all right?
Oh, that's not normal.
Astute observation, Dylan. Somebody shooting their tongue out about 2 feet is not normal. Good job. Good catch.
That was very good.
You're not human.
Okay, seriously, guys, how long is it going to take you to catch up? Sophie figured it out well before any of you did, and you guys still can't catch up. That's not normal. You're not human. Yes, we know. He's a frog man. Can we move on, please?
Bringen Sie diesen Frosch zurück, woher kam.
I don't know how I feel about that. That was kind of unnecessary on her part. I get it. She feels duped, and she's a little upset, but Alex was a nice guy. He didn't really know what was going to happen, and he was just a bunch of frogs trying to be human. So snapping him back into a bunch of frogs seems mean. And honestly, justice for Alex. Justice for Alex.
This is stupid. Why don't we just use my timeline? Come on, I keep it in the closet.
This dude had a time stream in his closet this entire time. I'm starting to think that he knew that he had it and just wanted a bunch of garden gnomes, some new fancy clothes, and a head of hair. Gort, you're an S-tier scammer, but this is not a time to scam, so come on. Pick your battles.
And whatever he's planning, it is up to us to stop him. I'm gonna wear my mask. He knows me.
Doesn't he know all of you? Wouldn't he know all of you? His whole thing is that he wants to destroy the Cromwells and get revenge on humans. So wouldn't he? You guys killed his dad. I'm pretty sure he would know all of your faces. I think they just wanted a poorly written excuse to turn her into a monster. That's what I think. I'm going to wear a mask. He knows me. Yeah, He knows Marnie too, and the grandma, and Dylan and Sophie. You guys literally murdered his dad.
Everyone, count down with me. Here we go. 60.
Who starts a countdown at 60?
Spiritu de l'obscurité.
Way to keep the mask on. Wow, you really stuck by that. I'm going to keep the mask on. He'll know me. But then you take the mask off right when you see him to stare right into his face. This mom is an absolute buffoon.
Trapper!
Oh, yes.
Okay, so she saves her grandma. That's cool. She saves her grandma, brings her back to normal. But the portal is closing because they only got 60 seconds. However, that portal is so open that if you, Grammy, and Luke just walked at a brisk pace, you could have easily jumped through and made it. I don't know why you tried to hold it open. When you got there, you were like this. You could have easily just been like, and put your body through it, and boom, you would have been able to save the world. But something you guys might not have picked up on is Marnie is an idiot, and she doesn't realize simple things because she lacks common sense. I just don't understand why she didn't just jump through the portal with the grandma. She just she easily could have made it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Think. So because Marnie, now for the third time, I'm pretty sure, sold just completely because she doesn't take initiative, Cal turns everybody in the auditorium into monsters. However, what confuses me most is that every single person realizes, oh man, I turned into a monster, look at me, I'm hideous. Except for the mom. For some reason, she gets turned into a monster and has the brain of a feral dog and tries to kill her own children. Why is she the exception? Because of the plot, obviously. Come on. So Marnie, now willing to break the rules, contacts her siblings in the mortal world and tells them to believe in themselves, and that will open the portal. And then they say a spell. For some reason, they're perfectly in sync, even though you see her put the walkie-talkie head down on a pile of socks. So you know that they can't hear her. So I guess the power of family and believing yourself just works. But what I'm also wondering is, there are a bunch of monsters, and there are two totally defenseless children just standing in the middle. They're doing their own thing. They're not moving. If I was an evil monster, like a vampire or whatever the mom is, that's free pickings. Like, a little tiny girl. Wait, just hear me out. Just come on, relax. And a teenage boy. Like, come on, relax. That's not what I mean. You could easily just be like, hey, let's eat these guys. They're literally just standing there, doing nothing. And I'm hungry for blood or brains, whatever. So they open the portal, and then Cal's just like, hey, take the books. And then I don't know what that is that's surrounding him, but they make noises like snakes, and they look like tree branches. So do with that what you will. And then Marnie starts glowing, and then she picks up the books, and then he kind of just screams in agony and explodes. But he doesn't die, he just disappears. Like, what? You put all this effort into trying to destroy the world or mess up the order of everything, and your final stand is to be like, here, take these books, if you dare. Like, what are you doing? Put some effort into your craft. You are a disgrace to your father. You are nothing. You are slime, and you are worthless. So they kind of just expose themselves to humans as witches and wizards, because everyone's there, everyone watches, everyone acknowledges it. But they kind of just go, oh, we all just fell asleep in this auditorium at the same time. Even though some people didn't get changed into monsters and clearly have memories of what just happened. But I guess they were dreaming too. Anyway, because I'm annoyed and I don't feel like dealing with any more of this nonsense, HalloweenTown is saved, and now they can visit Grammy whenever they want. So, Marnie sells 3 times in a row, almost just like ruins the entire Earth and HalloweenTown. And as a punishment, she's now allowed to visit her mom and her grandma whenever she wants, however she wants, by breaking the rules and creating her own portal. This girl, man, I understand why Dylan wants nothing to do with them. It's utter nonsense. Was this movie better than HalloweenTown 1? No. HalloweenTown 1 had a lot more continuity, made a lot more sense, had a lot less plot holes, and had a lot less of this entire family just being complete idiots, except for Dylan and Sophie. For some reason, the 8-year-old girl and the guy who just doesn't like magic were pretty much the only people who had any sort of sense in this entire movie. Would I recommend you watch it? No, because it doesn't age very well. The sets are pretty cool, and the colors are nice, but, like, the acting is kind of mid. The story, like I said, isn't that great. I mean, it's funny when it's not trying to be. But hey, it's just another life, another day in the life of a decom soldier. I honestly have no idea what else to say. Bye.